Moneymaker, 7-Step Plan to Financial Freedom. Written by Akdeniz. Narrated by John Eastman. Preface. Being financially free is not about luck, an obsession with money, or sacrificing all the fun in life. Being financially free is, more than anything, about being conscious of your actions and knowledgeable about how the monetary system works, so that you can always make the right financial decisions. By enhancing your understanding of how your actions, thoughts, and emotions create a network that affects your financial status, Moneymaker, 7-Step Plan to Financial Freedom guides you toward mastering this network. In order to maximize your wealth, you must cultivate good habits, utilizing a wide variety of information and financial management tools, such as budgets, bank accounts, insurances, and savings plans. Developing such habits is a process that requires self-discipline, but it can be made easier by breaking things into a series of steps. The aim of this book is to examine the process involved in attaining financial freedom and guide you through the steps that can move you toward achieving your financial goals. It shows how anybody can improve his or her financial status by wisely using resources that are always available and ready to be fructified. Introduction. With today's market and economy, it's getting harder and harder for anyone to reach a point at which they can say, "I'm financially free at last." However, as dull as it might sound, and even if your current financial and professional situation is rather discouraging, with careful planning and a good strategy, you can reach that status faster than you think. Plenty of people already invest a lot of their energy into planning, whether for their professional future or personal life. Unfortunately, a large proportion of these people tend to take a passive stand or simply choose to ignore this need altogether when it comes to a crucial aspect of their lives, that of learning how to manage money. Making and managing money is a skill, one that requires some investment on your part right from the start, in the form of time and education. This investment is sure to pay off, as money management is a skill that can be learned by anyone. Just think how many people who were not born wealthy are doing well financially just because they made that investment. If you can't come up with a number, let me simplify it for you. Millions. A life lesson that I'll never forget. I'm going to share with you a life lesson that I learned from my dad when I was just 13, and very aware of the fact my dad wasn't making a lot of money. He was a man of simple means, but he made sure I always had everything I needed. Despite his financial imperatives, he never failed to provide for his family. It was around the start of my teenage years that I started to ask myself how exactly he managed to do that while also always maintaining a joyful climate in our home. There were times when I could get pretty obnoxious, despite his efforts to keep me happy. When you're 13, you just start wanting more stuff. You see the things that other kids have, and when it's clear you're not likely to get them too, you can become a very recalcitrant youngster. I was certainly like that sometimes. Maybe that's why my father came to me once, wearing a very casual expression on his face and this subtle little smile not so much in the corner of his mouth as in his eyes, and just handed me what seemed to me then a fortune, $60. He told me I could spend it any way I wanted. At first I thought he was making some obscure joke at my expense, but then I realized he was very serious, and he was actually giving me that money. For the next couple of days I was still half expecting him to somehow ask for the money back, but then I started to feel that money was mine, and became very excited that I could just go and buy myself all the stuff I wanted and, of course, impress my friends. The next day I took them to a sweet shop that was right across from where I lived, and we ate so much chocolate cake that I couldn't stand the sight of it for a long time afterwards. After the sweet shop, there were jubilant trips to the action figure store and then the comic book shop. Unsurprisingly, the money my father had given me vanished very quickly. 1 week later, my father came to me with the same relaxed, casual expression on his face and asked, "How's your bank account looking?" "What bank account?" I scoffed. But the very next second I knew what he meant. I think I mumbled an "okay."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?